What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Right now, we're going to be talking about a little discovery that I made. Now, many of you guys already know that when it comes to abilities, it's very, very difficult for you to actually have one that you just know off the bat is one that works consistently. One of the biggest pet peeves that people have, just so you guys know, and I've been seeing a lot of my newer viewers ask me, you know, do I think that they should separate competitive Madden from, you know, people that just want to enjoy MUT and understand and utilize the game the way we want it? The problem that would make that difficult is that, number one, it would require more work. And we've already seen from the gameplay that we're not even getting the bare minimum with a lot of what goes on in the actual gameplay. So I highly doubt that they would separate the way that it works as far as like AP and stuff like that to make the game more fun. The current players that consider themselves pros, they will have influence on the game overall. I know that it's kind of ridiculous because, you know, the game is going to be geared for them. And that's what a lot of you guys are saying. Like, why would they take all the feedback from pro players when they're going to want the game, you know, designed for them? That's a great point, but some of the things that they are saying, you know, as far as like escape artists being OP and things like that, yeah, it is. But my point is, if that's the way that the development team wanted it, why should you adjust what the AP is, right? So this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Pick artists, because this is a major thing that goes on in the game. When the EA developers went in and they did whatever they did and had a ritual and came up with the fact that they wanted bad timing ball hawk, we should have known where Madden was going. Because a user lurk, this is the history of it, right? You used to have to be able to strafe, hold the L2 button, and be in position to intercept the ball. EA changed that around Madden 13 with the ball hawk. You know, I think the one when Ray Lewis was on the cover, where you no longer needed to strafe. So they've been slowly diminishing the fact that there are really good users in the game and making it so anybody that picks the controller up will be able to go out there and just do whatever they want. So earlier today, I played a major sweaty that, you know, it was a miraculous win at the end of the game because EA knew the guy was trash and he came out running bunch offset and he just threw a Stevie to end the game. But on that same drive, he threw 2 picks that I dropped. So I want to just explain to you guys what's going on, because I get a lot of these questions about, you know, should I use pick artists? Is pick artist needed on my linebacker? Do I have to have lurker? The bottom line is you have to have lurker on any linebacker that you're using. That's the bottom line. That has not changed. All right. The fact of the matter is that pick artist is a very, very particular type of ability that it's not going to be what they told us. I just want to make sure that because you guys, I want to make sure that I'm clear with that, because you guys are like, yo, they said it, you know, pick artists and you know, with the way that when you click on, they're not going to make it be like, even when it's like a 2-player animation that they'll drop it. That's all lies. All right. Now, you guys knew that already. For the most part, many of you guys already knew that, but I just want to make sure that you understand what happened. The player that I was playing against threw the ball directly at me. It wasn't a situation where I clicked on and went for a pick and it was some kind of like 2-player animation. It was just one-on-one. He was throwing it to his running back. I played the wheel route myself, took away the opposite side of the field, so he had no other read, and he threw it blindly, and I still dropped the pick. Okay, so my point being about this whole situation is I'm going to explain to you guys the other additions that I did with the AP and why I went away from certain things. So to make it easier for everybody, we're going to go over to just the active superstars list, and we'll just go through each player. So you're going to see everybody now has Acrobat. And I know many of you guys are going to say, yeah, Gmia, what happened to like flat zone KO, mid zone KO? What happened to it was this. The players stopped dropping the ball on impact. So one of the things that the KOs do is that they make you drop the ball after you catch it, and it does help you to get a lot of turnovers that are clutch, and it helps a lot to be able to control the game and know that if you're playing a flat demon, if you have those KOs, they will usually react to the play. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit more simplistic to where you can set your defense up and know if a ball is thrown within these areas and you can just make it so that your players are somewhere around it, they will usually drop the ball. That stopped happening. And guys were catching the ball more and more with those abilities on. So we went back to Acrobat. This is like literally the 6th or 7th time that we've gone back to Acrobat. It is absolutely ridiculous. Moving over, inside stuff. Now, this is where I can understand the concern because I've discovered this as well. Inside stuff is useless. They literally look to where my inside stuff is and run inside zone right at it. And the sheds are stupid and nothing really works. But in certain cases, it helps to let your defense scream if you run the 4-3-6-1 or any other defense where you have outside linebacker rushing. The inside stuff does something for that. So it's not so much about the run as it is about the fact that you get a push in the middle of the field and it helps for your edge rushers to get off. Now everybody else has acrobat. Like I said, down the line, except for this guy who's a pass rusher with under pressure. Jack Tatum also has acrobat. And Lawrence Taylor has unpredictable because we got to give him something. And then obviously pick artist and lurker on the user, primarily because, you know, they told us pick artist will prevent us from dropping the damn ball, which we've discovered is a complete lie, right? So will I take that ability off? That's what you guys are trying to figure out. Okay, Gmi, we know it doesn't work, right? So should we try to time the picks ourselves and make the better play? This is what I believe. Now that Luke Kuechly is out, he's probably going to be a guy that in most cases won't drop interceptions the way that anybody that you've been using prior, because obviously he's a Team Diamonds master or whatever. So the biggest issue that I want to make sure that I address is the fact that Teddy Hendricks at 6'7" is still, whether you use him at strong safety, if you run nickel, dollar, dime, whatever, he's still the best user in the game because he's so tall. It doesn't matter where the ball's going. He's going to animate. So because of that, that changes everything for your user and the capability of whatever you're trying to do in game. So I need you guys to understand a few things, right? This is very, very important. If you're not using Teddy Hendricks, you don't really understand the depths of what people that utilize him at the strong safety out of position or his right outside linebacker card, you don't realize how good he is. So I can't explain it. But I will tell you this. The newer cards, you know, I've seen a lot of people running around with Luke Kuechly, and he is a 98 speed at 6'3" on any theme team. So that could work. That could be something that we can possibly experiment with and be able to move around and, you know, do things on the field a lot differently. I'm gonna look into it. I may start the process of starting to go through the collectibles and get them done. He is relatively cheaper right now, so it could be something that we could rock. So I'm gonna look into that. No promises, but I'll look into it. All right, and see what we could do in that regard. But do we need to keep this on temporarily with pick artists? I would say yes, because the risk is not really worth it for not having it. And you just have to understand, if EA has the sliders up and it's not your time to pick the ball off, you're gonna have to deal with that. And as a man only, like, it's just gonna happen, and it's nothing you can do about it. But I will tell you, it doesn't work. It's just blatant, bro. Like, the dudes will drop the ball in the most ridiculous circumstances, but is it still necessary? I would say yes. So we're not going to take it off, but we will look into Luke Kuechly and then possibly try him out. If you have any feedback about him as a user, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.